During the night, we had strange dreams about functions and global objects and namespaces. Sometime around 2 a.m., inspiration hit. If we use an object to group our functions and values, why not use an object to hold all our function parameters? Every time we want to add functionality to a defined function, we're most likely going to need to pass it a parameter to manage the new behavior. Instead of adding another parameter to the function definition, why not use a single object parameter and extend that object instead? Let's review what an object is. Quite simply, it's just a group of name-value pairs. Each name is a property of the object. Each property can have a value. In the case of our draw function, each parameter that we allow could be a property of a single object. The benefits of this approach are overwhelming us, and we're mumbling incoherently as we pass through the office parking lot. Just as we receive our daily shock from the doorknob, the boss meets us with one more requirement. Now we need a rectangle as a footer for the page. It doesn't matter anymore. We're on a mission. Get ready. We're about to break all our code, hopefully for the last time, ever. The first thing to notice is that we're only expecting one parameter. This breaks the contract we had with all versions of our legacy code, and we just got it working last night. We check to see if the options parameter is an object. If it's not, we make it one. That means any parameter that is passed to this function that is not an object will be lost and replaced with an empty object. We'll see what that means in just a moment. Next, we check if the object has the 6 properties we're expecting as parameter values and assign defaults if it doesn't. Finally, we made changes to the context methods to make use of the object properties instead of individual parameter values. Here's a sample of how we can make the function call now. Notice that we don't have to specify the properties in any specific order. We can omit any properties that we want default values for, and we don't have to pass in undefined values as placeholders. Also, notice how readable the calling code is now. There's no doubt what values are being assigned to each parameter. Anyone coming in after us will be able to immediately see that we're expecting a rectangle in the given location with a stroke value of red. What about our legacy code? Before we show the results in the browsers, what do you think the result will be? Will we see anything? If so, will it be in color or a black rectangle? We got our red footer rectangle and a square in the default location with the default colors. Actually, we got a default square for each time we called the draw function with all the parameter configurations. None of them passed an object as the first parameter, so the first parameter was replaced with an empty object. That was then filled with all default values. Remember, our function is ignoring all but the first parameter. In effect, calling the function this way was the same as calling it with a single parameter of undefined. Since undefined isn't an object, it overwrote any values we passed in and created an empty object and filled it with defaults. Let's fix the contract with all the legacy code while still allowing an object parameter to be passed by new code. Using an object parameter will allow us to never have to worry about the contract breaking again. Objects are really the way to go for all future function enhancements. We should make sure to use this strategy with any new functions we write too. Since properties of an object are optional by their nature, our function parameters can be optional as well. The order of properties doesn't matter, so our parameters can be provided in any order. Also, consider how readable the calling code is. Readable code is more easily maintained.